Command Professional Edition is the world's premier tool for modern, all-domain warfare simulation. With incredible detail in the air and maritime domains, Command lets you bring the world's past, present, and future weapon systems to modern military operations in a framework that enables rapid development and repeatable excursions while outputting data for analysis. Command Professional Edition brings defense users the best of both worlds, a product with professional features and a commercial off-the-shelf origin, culminating in a thoroughly tested and reliable operations platform for single or multiplayer use on any modern laptop. The heart of Command are its physics-based sensor, environment, Doctrine ROE, and AI models, which represent the world on the map display in an incredibly detailed per-unit, per-component basis. Sensors are distinct to their types and roles, with capabilities defined in the Command database to give an accurate model of each sensor's strengths and weaknesses. A sensor's strengths and weaknesses play directly into its effectiveness. Not every sensor can provide the range, velocity, heading, side, and emissions data available in the latest sensor models. Command sensors, including the trusty Mark I eyeball, show only information available based upon the sensor and communication networks available, providing a realistic fog of war that can only be pierced by careful reconnaissance. Sensors linked to weapons for targeting data must illuminate and track before that platform can attack a target. And sensor detection and illumination is subject to real-world limitations of weather, line of sight, electronic warfare, countermeasures, stealth, and more, all of which realistically complicate friendly and enemy engagements. But detecting and identifying a threat is only the first step. Even the most lethal combat weapons are only as effective as their doctrine and the skill of their crews. Command's built-in artificial intelligence implements the warfighter's plans and strategies. Units operate under standard or custom doctrine and rules of engagement, allowing the user to tailor their force's response in great detail. Have your forces engage slow-moving enemy tankers, early warning, and transport aircraft at maximum missile range, but direct them to close the gap before launching against high-performance fighters. And like all militaries, Command takes into account the proficiency of forces, modifying reaction time and targeting performance for new recruits and veteran aces. Meaning the very same surface-to-air missile battery that is a worthless toy when staffed by untrained crews becomes a deadly weapon against even ultra-modern aircraft in the expert hands of highly trained and motivated veteran crews. And bringing it all together is Command's database, which puts you in control of nearly every frontline aircraft, ship, submarine and land facility, and major ground unit created in the world from 1945 into the near future. Aircraft can be further customized by use of a loadout system that includes historical and hypothetical loadouts, all of which realistically affect maneuvering, range, fuel capacity, fuel consumption, sensor, and weapons options, enabling a realistic accounting of warfare in the land, sea, and air, both past, present, and future. Want to change the outcome of the fight? Edit Command's database to create and fight using new or imagined technologies. Add a laser, modify the stealthiness, adjust the speed, and see how that changes the outcome. Every platform in Command is modeled at the component level and includes editable parameters for fuel capacity, maneuverability, maximum and minimum altitude, and the equally editable sensors, mounts, and weapons. Command includes a powerful yet easy-to-use scenario builder that lets you build and fight in minutes or hours, not weeks or months. Command's detailed imagery and easy-to-use interface makes it painless to recreate the crisis you were briefed on this morning, so you can wargame it that afternoon. Command's multiplayer mode gives you the ability to host and run a WeGo multiplayer session for up to 16 players. The multiplayer umpire has full control of the event, managing the time each side has to plan and input orders, modifying scenarios before and after each turn, adding and removing units, changing the damage system, and having all the editing powers a scenario designer would have when preparing a scenario. Easy to use. Built around a powerful and intuitive point-and-click mouse interface, Command makes warfighter intervention and dynamic battle management options accessible through a fast and intuitive interface that allows the user to plan and execute missions, create patrol areas, manage units, set doctrine, and define rules of engagement, all while giving a clear and realistic view of the situation. Command's visual style would be at home in operations centers and CICs around the world, reducing the learning curve for your war games, exercises, and training. The NATO-style graphics and detailed event messaging give you the ability to interpret an enormous amount of information on the capabilities, behaviors, and actions of every platform in the fight. Command's full globe terrain allows modeling of global-scale operations without sacrificing the tactical level detail of the environment. The weather can be your best ally and your worst enemy. The terrain, both overland and undersea, can hide you from the enemy, or vice versa, but may also block your weapons from firing. Thermal layers, convergence zones, surface ducting, the deep sound channel, and factors such as water temperature, terrain slope, and land cover may be crucial in your engagements. Thick clouds, rain, or EM interference can render your precision-guided weapons useless. Command's digital background is as unforgiving as the real thing, and as rewarding for those who understand and actively use it. Command Pro 2 brings improvements to resolution, improving the detail of terrain data to 90 meters per pixel and bathymetry to 400 meters per pixel. Updates to imagery and the now included Stamen road networks allow you to visualize your operational area as never before. And if that's not enough for you, Command allows you to expand your experience even further through Lua scripting or interfacing with other simulations via DIS or TCP/IP. Want to see how a bleeding-edge combat aircraft performs in your scenario? We've done it. Have a radar, missile, or other model you want to test in a scenario? Override the built-in model and see how it performs. Command's defense user community has grown exponentially over the last decade, with defense clients using Command to support analysis, wargaming, and training, and as a sandbox for experimentation with artificial intelligence. Defense users around the world are leveraging Command's physics-based engine, extensive database, and non-deterministic Monte Carlo mode to assess contingency plans and future concepts over multiple simulation runs. Command is used to analyze future concepts by modifying and testing platforms in both existing and custom-built scenarios, allowing you to identify the best approach to achieving your future objectives. Data from these simulation runs can be output as CSV, SQL, or other formats, allowing more detailed analysis of the factors you care about. Assess the effectiveness of sensors and weapons, or review fuel and munition consumption rates to assess the logistics requirement for a future fight. The data can be viewed either in real time or stored for comprehensive multi-dimensional analysis. Military organizations around the globe are using Command to review their plans and enhance training. Command supports anything from an all-domain action to a domain-specific deep dive of plans and orders. Wargame in Command using just a single operator, or leverage multiplayer to fill out your staff and input and execute your war plans faster. Course of action analysis with Command provides what planners and operators have always wanted: the ability to record the battle for one COA, then replay that battle and step in and see how a different COA changes the outcome. And for a more powerful COA analysis experience, share the save file to other Command instances and run them side by side to compare how your COAs play out simultaneously. Military academies are using Command to bring to life the staff planning and orders processes, allowing cadets and midshipmen to witness their plans playing out on the battlefield and learn from it. Defense and industry partners are using Command in DARPA and U.S. Air Force AI Challenge events to push the limits in the development of next-generation artificial intelligence. The U.S. Air Force Research Laboratory's AI for Command Challenge will have 6 cutting-edge teams from the United States AI community put their AI through a range of test scenarios in command to see who comes out on top. Thanks to Command's ability to run headless with the command line interface. Command Professional Edition is the world's premier all-domain warfare operations simulation, putting you in command for scenarios ranging from peacetime to crisis to all-out warfare. Command brings together the advantages of commercial software and the tools defense professionals needed to analyze, wargame, and train for today's crises or tomorrow's potential nightmares.